this is Ron Henderson, Multi-Real Estate Services. It's April 8th, 2011, and this is a real estate market update for the San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, California. The San Fernando Valley is a northern region of Los Angeles that incorporates Selmar, San Fernando, and Granada Hills to the north, West Hills, Woodland Hills, Calabasas to the west, Santa Monica Mountain Range to the south, and Burbank to the east. Let's start out looking at a couple charts that reflect the general market. The Case-Shiller Index is a good apples-to-apples index as it's an analysis that only utilizes homes that have been sold at least twice over a certain period. This chart shows year-over-year changes in home prices in percentages. We hit the peak in 2005, then fell off a cliff until 2009. It recently bounced back in 2010, then over the past couple months resumed the drop in pricing. Here we can see nationally home prices have pulled back to 2003 levels. Now let's get into the local numbers. All the next charts are going to be based on single-family dwellings. I'm pulling out condos and townhouses because they have their own unique issues. I'll address that in a separate blog. Median pricing has been fairly stable over the past year and a half, around a 380, 390K range. Over the last month, it's dropped to around 350,000. Let's see why. I always preach the economic fundamentals of supply and demand, but the inventory and some of the sales numbers are a bit skewed these days and they don't tell the whole story. Normally, when the quantity of months to liquidate inventory drops, the pricing goes up. When the inventory was at 14 months in 2007, you'd expect the pricing to drop, and it did. Now with the existing inventory under 4 months, when the historic average is around 6 months, you'd expect the pricing to go up, but that's not what's happening. Inventory's a mess. Trustee sales have been curtailed because government and institutional moratoriums. The institutions have held off on liquidating foreclosed properties, creating a shadow inventory. They're concerned flooding the market with inventory will hurt valuations. Now this is a catch-22, as the inventory will take longer to get rid of. At the same time, they don't want to have the liability of maintaining properties on their books. Another reason they've been dragging their feet on foreclosing on delinquent loans. Short sale properties are difficult to close. Even though the government has implemented the Hemp Act, pushing the institutions to expedite closing short sales are still a pain, and only about 18% of the transactions close. If you're a smart agent representing a buyer, you either steer away from the short sales altogether, or you scrutinize the heck out of a property to see if it's viable. What I mean by that is the listing agent on top of their game and has done their homework, and are there multiple loans in place, etc. If you have a rookie agent representing the seller, forget it. Standard non-distressed properties are being held off the market or impacted by distressed inventory. A lot of people would like to sell but are waiting for the market to turn around, or they won't qualify for a short sale and their equity position's been wiped out. Even though the actual quantity of delinquent loans have been dropping, the backlog of foreclosures will take a long time to catch up. As I indicated previously, the lenders have been slow at executing foreclosures. There's presently 1 million REOs and there's 700,000 not listed for sale. There's 1.2 million properties currently in the foreclosure process and another 5 million more loans in some stage of delinquency. Here we can see the quantity of days loans are delinquent before the foreclosure is consummated has continued to increase. Presently, 30% of foreclosures have at least one loan delinquent for 24 months or longer. I do know institutions are getting more aggressive, but they've got a long way to go to catch up. Now, what's going to affect the real estate market in the future? There is an expanding economy, but it's slow by historic standards coming out of a recession. My experience has been, it doesn't matter how low the interest rates are, if the job market isn't strong, neither is housing. None of the government's housing acts have been productive for the housing market. If anything, it's been counterproductive and mostly for political posturing. The new loan underwriting guidelines have been killing many logical transactions. The pendulum has swung too far one direction, then to the other. The criteria has gone from stupid easy to giving up your firstborn, and the fees are going up because of the cost of meeting newer regulations. This is affecting purchases and refinances. The overall buyer base is much smaller. Move-up buyers have had a large chunk of equity they would have used as a down payment wiped out, and anybody that's had a foreclosure or short sale will need a few years to clean up their credit before they can get back into the market. The local and federal governments are strapped for cash. There's plenty of talk about taking away Prop 13 and interest deductibility. That obviously would be a negative for housing. Interest rates will be going up, partly because the economy is getting stronger and the quantitative easing the government's used to keep the interest rates artificially low will be eliminated. Plus, there's a lot of pressure politically to scale back on the GSEs. There will be loans, but private money and the secondary money market will require a higher mortgage rate. Now, because the real estate market has been such a mess, there's an increase in the quantity of renters. Plus, there's been very little new construction. There's going to be an increase in rents in better areas, ultimately pushing renters back into attempting to be owners. Okay, here's a new wild card. At the time of this post, the Dems and GOP are at odds about how they're going to handle the federal budget. Regardless of your ideology, if there's a federal shutdown because they can't get it together, the FHA will stop issuing new case numbers or insurance covering purchase or refinance loans. That will be an issue because any loan over 80% loan to value requires coverage. Private mortgage insurance still exists, but it's very difficult to acquire. The Valley used very few FHA loans 4 or 5 years ago, but now we're seeing 30 to 40% saturation. The market's shaky enough without throwing this wrench into it. We have at least a few years before we see a truly stable market. As I've indicated in the past, if you're in a cash position, you can wait for values to drop some more. If you have to use a mortgage to purchase, you may want to move sooner rather than later because you're not going to see these kind of rates in the future. Also, you have to look at it as a long-term hold. If you're looking to purchase any kind of rental property, that'd be a great idea, but you got to make sure that you're being selective and also that the numbers work. If you're in the Los Angeles region and if you have any specific questions, always feel free in contacting me through my website, mres.com. Till next time, take care.